Fucking go, Brian.
What the fuck?
Hello, we are Dark Screen Society, and we're so happy that you found us. I'm your host this week, Brian. Joining me as always is Chuck,
Hey.
Gigi,
Hi.
and Seth, being the only professional one.
Yeah, what the fuck are you, Australian now, Chuck? I'm Seth, I guess.
Amazing. So get us
Good night.
started out of our giggly moods. What movies have we all watched this week that we would recommend to others? Seth, you want to kick us off because you're probably seen all the best stuff just now?
I saw a lot of footage, but I did see the full thing of Deadpool, and I watched The Beast Within. Beast Within was a solid movie. It's very different take on werewolves. And I like that they kind of changed it up a little bit and gave it a little bit more meaning. And then Deadpool and Wolverine was just kind of like a awesome send off to the Fox universe, the superheroes that I grew up with. So I'd recommend both of those for sure.
Nice. Chuck?
Well, I watched two that I'd like to speak about this week. One I'm going to put a review out for later today, and it is called The Dead Thing, that I covered for the Fantasia International Film Festival, and I've watched it 3 times now, and it blew me away. It's such a haunting portrayal of how people are tethered to their phones and like how people can't find like true life connections with other human beings because everything's kind of through a screen, and it's so haunting and real. And one I really can't go into great detail about, but I've done Cuckoo twice this week, and I think it's an absolute masterpiece. Like, it fucking blew me away. I can't stop thinking about it. The more I think about it, the more I fucking love it.
Wait, why
So
can't
in
you go
other
into more
words-
detail?
Because I can't drop it until I'm under embargo until the 30th. So I'm just respecting them in case they listen, because that's what they asked for me to do. So I probably even went into more detail, even though people have given reviews of it. But like, I
Yeah.
talked to Sydney yesterday or 2 days ago, and I talked to Justin last night for 2 hours. And he got something completely different out of it than I did. And then we just melded our thoughts together. And it all made fucking sense to me, because like, it's just so bad. And Hunter Schafer, listen, she has a chance to be the GOAT if she does more horror.
Oh yeah.
She was
Listen,
great.
Give her another butterfly knife. She was just a badass with that thing.
She was so good.
Wait, we
That's
don't
mine.
have we didn't have embargoes, did we, Seth?
No.
Okay,
Just 'cause it
cool.
was
Because
at
I was
Film
like,
Fest.
okay. Well, this one's out of Film Fest, but this is like remote press. So
Right.
okay, I was like, because I reviewed it again, but I was like, but at Overlook we didn't have an embargo on it. Yeah, I watched Cuckoo again as well, and I just think it's very okay. But I think it's so gorgeous though. It
Oh, it
feels
is.
like the entire movie is like shot on like specifically like a Fujifilm camera, because like Fujifilm like is so like yellow and green, and
Right.
it's like it feels very much like that, and just like soft.
Mhm.
I just makes zero sense to me, but some people like that kind of stuff, like when it's like, kind of chaotic. It just personally felt a little messy to me, but I still recommend people to watch it. But another thing that I watched was Haze as a part of the Fantasia Film Festival, and Haze was so incredible. It got picked up by Shudder and IFC, and I think I read somewhere that it's coming out later, like in the fall, like via Shudder.
Mhm.
And it's so good. It's this like erotic psychological thriller about this guy who's like investigating these like deaths that had happened at this like psychiatric facility growing up, and it's so good, and it's like creepy and haunting and weird. I love it. I did a TikTok review, but I described it as like session 9 mixed with All of Us
Ooh.
Strangers. I loved
Which
it.
made me so fucking happy.
Yeah, it's
That
so
sounds
like
great.
it's so good, and I don't think it'll be for everybody, because it is like a little on like the slower side, and some things are a little ambiguous. But I thought it was so beautiful. I loved it a lot.
Can we just talk about real quick how great Shudder is? Like they're just picking up
Yes.
all these amazing films lately. Like we got Azrael now. They're just like they're crushing it.
I'm
Listen,
so excited.
that's because Neon's running down their neck,
Hmm.
picking
Yeah.
things. They just picked up Shelby Oaks and a bunch of other stuff. So, like, I love that they have like this friendly competition. A24 just dropped a couple bombs too for ones we hadn't heard of that are coming out that I can't
Heretic
remember
looks
offhand at the
cool.
moment. But yeah, Heretic
Heretic
looks
looks
cool.
so good. Who's in that
Mhm.
again?
Hugh
It's
Grant,
yeah,
There
Hugh
you go,
Grant
Hugh Grant.
and he,
Oh my god.
and the
I
girl
think he's
from
going to be
Yellow Jackets.
diabolical.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
She's awesome.
Dude, she has been getting a lot of roles recently,
Mhm.
and I'm so happy about that 'cause she's my favorite in Yellow Jackets.
Same. She's awesome.
She's so good. I don't even know what her name is, but she's so good.
Gigi,
Got
they're
spooky
doing
vibes.
They're doing a US run of Cuckoo in 35 millimeter.
Wow.
So I'd pay attention to that because if you like the grain of the what I mean, like how the film shot, like I would love to see that 35 millimeter edit of it because I bet you it adds a lot to it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go on record to say that I wasn't embargoed at Overlook, so I'm not breaking any embargo
Hmm.
rules.
Yeah, we aren't.
All right,
I'd
Brian,
like to
even though
see
we
it.
don't care what you watched, what'd you watch?
Yeah, what'd you watch, bud?
Well, to be fair, I can't. I am on embargo because I'll be watching stuff for Fright Fest, but I can't talk about
Okay,
it
then we're good.
until.
Next question.
I will kick you off. I'm in charge today.
That's okay. Just proceed.
Okay. So the only thing I watched, I think people might like, is Loop Track, which I think we all watched, and I thought that was solid. I didn't think it was like anything special. I don't think you're missing
Yeah.
out if you don't watch it, but it was entertaining enough for an hour and a half. And talking about something at Fright Fest without going into details, Dead Mail is probably the best thing I've watched
Oh
so
my
far,
god, yes.
which is a bit boring in the middle, but
I
the aesthetic is
It's
beautiful. It's
cool.
like House of Devil Neil's aesthetic. So
yes.
does Dead Mail, I think.
It's got vibes.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Life for
it
days.
I'm like a Nancy Drew girly, so, like, I loved the whole, like, sleuth aspect of it, but they could have written it so much more tightened up, like, so much
Yes.
more tightened up. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I still really liked it.
perfect.
I
Okay,
did
getting
watch.
into oh,
I was gonna say I did watch
No.
some Alien footage, Alien Romulus footage. They showed us
Oh,
in the
you got
panel.
ooh, that was, like, only shown at Comic-Con?
Yeah, they showed one of the chest burster scenes,
Oh my
and they used
god.
17 people to move the puppet. Like
Oh
it's
my
all
god,
practical effects. Almost everything in
dude.
the movie's practical,
That's
and
great.
it was bloody and brutal as fuck. So be
This is
prepared.
gonna be crazy to see because I feel like we don't get a lot of practical effect things, and then even when we do, there's obviously still some sort of, like, CGI, in it to,
Mhm.
clean it up, but I feel like this is gonna be, like, unlike not anything we've ever seen because, like, in the fucking '80s, that's all they had, but, like, anything we've seen modern, So, I'm super excited for it.
good.
Yeah.
I
I get to see
can't
it. I
fucking
get to see it a
wait.
day early. I'm so excited because it's playing. We get the UK exclusive, and I've got midnight showing for it the day before it releases for everyone else.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man. Cool
Wow,
for you.
I guess
And
that's
Yeah.
Feddy,
cool.
Rub it
Feddy
in.
will be there too.
I know.
So we're like, hey,
Wow,
Feddy.
that's I don't think anybody asked, but that's cool. Just
Yeah. I
Gigi,
saw
your mom's
Fetty.
going to have words with you soon.
My mom's gonna call me and be like, "Why are you being so mean
I
to
know.
my favorite?"
Shout out to Gigi's mom.
Yeah,
Yes,
Gigi's mom. I'm your favorite now, not Brian. So
ma'am.
Frogman. Okay, let's get into the meat of this. We're talking about the best subgenre of horror, which is found footage. No one can disagree. So, the main one that everybody thinks about when found footage is Blair Witch Project, which was 25 this year, same age as me. So, what year did you first watch Blair Witch, and how did you feel about it then compared to how do you think it holds up now? Starting with Seth.
I knew you were gonna start with me. Listen, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, so I
I
don't
know.
remember the first time I saw Blair Witch. But I mean, there's not enough that can be said about that movie. That's like it was a game changer for found footage. It's such a incredible film. Personally, I am not the biggest fan of it though. That's my hot take here, guys. I I, I don't know. It's
Crickets.
yeah, crickets here. It's okay. That's why we all work together. But yeah, I just think it's boring, and we watched 3 people wander in the woods for a few hours. Like Brian said, he was gonna make that a found footage, so I'm excited to see his movie.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'll watch Brian's, but nobody
Yeah, I'll watch
else's.
Brian. Like it was
So,
definitely
on that
creepy, and I
negative
like.
one.
Yeah,
Chuck.
I think the Blair Witch Project is a flawless masterpiece of a film, and that is not just to be on the opposite of Seth, but I'm attached to it for many different reasons. I seen it in the theater opening night. I live in Pittsburgh, so the thing that we should say about the Blair Witch Project is it is the great, up until maybe Long Legs, it's the greatest marketing campaign in cinematic history.
Yeah.
It was pre-internet. You know, those directors and the staff, they went everywhere and they printed up those signs, you know, in West Virginia, and like they made it to Pittsburgh. Like there were posters for those people missing that made it into Pennsylvania. So like people thought that shit was real. Like it was on the news. It made the national news. Like that, for having the budget that they had to go to an epic level of the national news with these missing people for advertisement for a film is unheralded. And the fact that they didn't give them scripts, the fact that the way that they directed it and they just gave them like little clues of like you go from point A to point B, but they really had no idea. Now, I don't know if that is, you know, by 2024 standards, like cruel working conditions or whatever it is, because they literally scared the fuck out of those people on
Yeah.
purpose. But what transferred over to film is absolutely brilliant. You know, the crying in the tent and the fear in their eyes and the tears and everything that they did. Like it's so well done. But the other thing that it did, it opened up a door, and it opened up a door for a genre that a lot of people shit on, because people shit on found footage, but found footage gives independent voices an opportunity to put their vision on screen of something that they can't get $1 million budget for. And like we've gotten a lot of great films post found footage from directors that needed that doorway. They needed that $18,000 film, you know, to get out there so somebody could say, hey, look, maybe we should put money behind this. So like the cultural importance and the impact of the Blair Witch Project is at that time Texas Chainsaw Massacre level for the doors that it opened up. And I really think it deserves to be put in that conversation for what it did. So that's my opinion.
I completely agree. Brilliant answer. I think Blair Witch does that a lot of these up and coming found footage guys do with the walking in the woods. Blair Witch has those interviews at the start where it's like here's some backstory, and it throws in Rustin Park, and then it throws in the witch, and it's kind of like there could be a lot of different things happening here. So when it gets to that ambiguous end, then you're like, maybe it was a witch, or maybe it was the serial killer, or maybe the witch is controlling the serial killer. Whereas a lot of them just now, they just go into the woods and then something happens. So I think they're missing that bit at the start. So yeah, obviously I'm biased. I've got Blair Witch poster right behind me. It's a huge part of my life was Blair Witch. I watched it when it first came out, thought it was real, terrified of that scene at the very end. Yeah, and I'm the only one that matters. So on to the next question. Okay, TT, you can tell us you don't like it. They didn't show the witch.
No. I love the Blair Witch Project. I can't remember the first time I watched it. I was like younger, but I also haven't watched it like as an adult. And I know a lot of people, because what I'm afraid of is watching it as an adult and then having the same reaction that everybody else does when they're like, oh, like nothing really happens and it's kind of boring, because that happens so much. Like that's like Seth, like that happened to you, and that happens a lot. But I like have such more of appreciation for it after listening to Horror Chronicles, the Hello Sydney podcast, her episode on the Blair Witch. Like I didn't know all of that information about them, like not having a script and just like going out there and like having to just be in the elements, and like how freaky it was, and just all these like little things that made it feel like a real horror movie. Like it was like a horror movie within a horror movie. And so I think that's I I think it just completely changed the genre of found footage, and like you can't think of like infamous horror scenes without thinking of the freaking like I'm so scared right now like scene.
Mhm.
That's just like ingrained in people's heads. So I think I think it still holds up today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Right,
agree.
well done. Thought you were going to go off on a tangent and be incorrect there, but no, you nailed it.
1,000,000%.
You started this, Gigi. Okay. Found footage is arguably the most divisive subgenre in horror. Chuck, you've kind of answered this already. Why do you think it's loved by a huge group of people, but then so many people hate it? Chuck, I don't know if you want to. You were.
I
The
think a
shaky cam.
reason that a lot of people don't like it is because of the shaky cam aspect and that it's not shot from a clear cut like 16:9 ratio. And it makes people feel, like car sick or boat sick or things like
Yeah.
that. So I think that's a turnoff for people. But I also think people can't get their head wrapped around not looking at it as cheap. Like, I think the word cheap and found footage is tied together. And I think that's very unfair because there's so many found footage movies that use and do more with less than big budget studios that are pumping out movies, like the fear element that they can create just with this drawer full, like the Poughkeepsie tapes. Like the Poughkeepsie tapes, whether people love it or they hate it, like it conveys dread, fright, and terror very well just from like them reviewing these movies. So I think it gets, I think found footage gets a really, really, really bad rap because there's phenomenal found footage movies.
Oh yeah, totally. I feel
Mhm.
like the reason why I love and hate found footage, I love it because it feels so realistic. Because you're like, oh my God, this feels like it's happening to me, especially if you're watching it. Like, my favorite way to watch a found footage movie is like on my laptop, like where it feels so up close and personal. It's so freaky. But the reason why anytime I hate a found footage movie, it's all for the same reason, and that it took way too long to get to the bulk of the story, because it's like the first 45 minutes is just like friends hanging out and like doing nothing and like blank shots of the forest or this like haunted house. And I'm like, brother, get to it. Like, we don't need 40
Right.
minutes of you just fucking lollygagging. And that's what gets me in found footage. Is I'm like, I feel like I'm wasting my time getting to the good parts.
I feel
Again, I
that.
think that's a misunderstanding from those directors of what the Blair Witch was. They're like, think, oh, we can just get away with no money. We just have people in the woods arguing for a little bit, and people will watch that. But it's like, no, that was it works for them. You can't just keep doing that and then hoping for the same magic to happen again. So I get it. I don't know if you guys are aware of Koji Shiriashi. He directed Noroi the Curse, and he's directed
Oh,
3 other found footage films. But like all of them have little like there's moments in between, so it's not just nothing,
yes.
something. There's always like little
Right.
things happening in the background. I'm like that's what found footage directors in UK and US should be watching and be like, okay, actually we can add
Yes.
little things in, because his CGI is fucking terrible. He's like, it's so bad in all of his movies, but it doesn't matter because the story's there and you're engaged with it all, and you're like, this is a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
So
Like, at least
if
something's
any found footage
happening.
directors are
Mhm.
watching, yes.
Well, and the Blair Witch too, like if they're paying attention to that, everything in the Blair Witch isn't just mindless walking. Like everything is purposely done with intent to build suspense and drama to the crescendo. Like I don't even know where they got mindlessly walking for 45 minutes, which we get a lot of, you know what I mean? But like it's the ones that use it to build the story, that pay off so much, like the good ones.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because even in the Blair Witch, like, the story is building and this tension is building. It's the ones that get me where they're literally just, like, out in the wood, like, cracking beers, and I'm like, "Okay, the story's not even building. We're
Yeah, who
just watching you
cares? Right.
hang out." Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
why
agree.
those ones aren't on the good lists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why those suck. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Seth, anything to add?
I think you guys all nailed it on the head. And I don't know. I like, to Chuck's point about, the shaky cam. Um, when I first saw Cloverfield, I absolutely loved it. But like 90% of my friends absolutely hated it because
Mhm.
it made them so dizzy and nauseous. Whereas like I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I think
Me
a lot of
too.
people can't get over that because it's just like it reminds them of like, like Chuck said, like a boat, or I don't remember who said that, but like a boat or a roller coaster. And it just brings up not the greatest thing. So
Seth, I love how tired you are. You're like, "I don't know. I just work
yeah,
here."
I just work here.
Seth is at San Diego Comic-Con, by the way.
He's
Yeah,
like,
2
I don't
hours of
know
sleep.
which one of you fucking said this, but
One of you fuckers said it.
But no, I couldn't watch found footage up until recent years. Like I tried to watch Cloverfield. I specifically remember the day trying to watch VHS and I was like, I can't do this. Like it was too shaky. And it wasn't until maybe the past like 3, 4 years where I've been able to actually stomach it.
Yeah.
I also think found footage, something that they do, because if we're getting the POV of the camera, I think that's the closest we'll ever get to like horror games. You know, horror games, you can't look away because you have to push on. I think found footage is the closest we can get to that because it's like, this is us holding the camera here. And I can't look away. So I think that's why I find it more terrifying, is because it's me that's walking in a situation, not someone else.
It just feels
Have-
more real and authentic.
Yeah,
too.
totally. That's
If done, yeah, if done
exactly.
properly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like what you were
'cause
saying.
that's
Like that's
not-
why
on you go.
nothing. I'll just go. I'll just stop talking forever.
No, your point's probably better. So on you go.
No, I
Maybe.
was gonna say it reminds me of, or like to your point, Brian, about horror games. Like that's why I think horror games are like 10 times more terrifying than horror movies, is because we feel like we're in that situation. And same thing with found footage.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was going to
Absolutely.
just add in that obviously we are just talking about probably more standard found footage things, not really screen life and like hidden camera found footage films. So just in case people run into the comments to tell us, but you forgot about this movie, and it doesn't feel
Oh,
like
they
that.
will.
I know. No, and also we better mention Cannibal Holocaust as well. And
Oh God, no.
we know Blair Witch wasn't the first found footage film before anybody jumps in to tell us. We're
Yeah, but
aware.
Cannibal
Thank you.
Holocaust is trash.
No, isn't that
It's
the one with
trash,
animal
I agree.
torture, like real animal
Yeah.
deaths?
It's
No,
fucking,
Bullshit.
listen, people that hype
I will
that,
never.
listen, I'll go on record. You could find me in the comments. I'll send you my email.
Here's my
That movie-
address.
Listen, that movie's trash.
No, that's so. I refuse to watch that. That's so.
Yeah, but it's
icky.
not even like, even if you take out the animal scenes, like it's not a good movie. Like it's a poorly shot, abysmal found footage movie that people hyped up because they killed a turtle, and like it's and that's why it's gotten so much hype and traction over the years. Like it's trash. It's not good, and I'll
Francis-
die on that fucking hill.
Francis told me
Good.
about the turtle, and I was like, nope, we're not doing
Yeah,
this.
a
No.
turtle and
abs-
a monkey.
It's
A
supposed to be-
monkey? That's disgusting.
So, although I'm gonna, just because we're on this subject, I'm gonna throw a hypothetical out. So, in the first Friday the 13th, they actually kill a snake, a real
Yes.
snake. But like, I don't feel as bad watching that. But for some reason, I won't watch Cannibal Holocaust, even though all the animals that died in that got fed to the tribes. So it's probably more ethical than Friday the 13th. But like, snakes aren't as cute.
Fuck
as a
the
monkey or a
snakes.
turtle.
Right. Snakes
So
already are tied to a negative connotation. So like, because they're tied to, different kinds of imagery and things over the years. So I don't think it affects people the same as, oh, this cute little turtle that you're bashing with a fucking bat.
Oh my God. And like also, it
Yeah,
wasn't
don't watch it, Gigi.
Yeah, I'm not
In
gonna watch
fr-
it either.
in Friday the 13th, wasn't that guy like, wasn't the snake like somebody's pet? I think it was somebody's
Yeah, he just
pet.
brought it in,
Yeah.
brought it into the set, and they
That's
didn't know it was going to
so-
happen. So he's like, "Here's my snake," and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my God. That would be my villain origin story. Like
Mhm.
oh my God. That's so sad. I'm so depressed now.
He became Jason.
No, for real. I would too. Oh my
Perfect.
God. Great.
Okay.
Now that we're all in high spirits.
Yeah. So, what's one found footage film that you think would make for a film? It would be a great film that isn't found footage style, and what's one film that's not found footage that you think would be better as a found footage film? Gigi, I'll start with you.
Oh
That's a good
God.
question.
Thank you.
Did you come up with this one?
Do you want me to start so you guys can take your time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, found footage one that I would like to be non-found footage is Frankenstein's Army, which I don't know if anybody else has seen that. It's World War II Nazis, but they make like monsters as well to fight against the American troops.
Oh my
And
God,
the
that's so
monster-
fun.
It's great. The monster design in it is incredible. Probably some of the best monster design I've ever seen in any movie. But because it's found footage, it's so quick that you see them and then it cuts
yeah.
away. So I think seeing that in a normal style film would be spectacular. Apparently, the monster design's been used in Resident Evil Village, so you've maybe seen some of them if you played that game.
Yeah, I love Village.
There you
Mhm.
go.
I just started it.
And a non-found footage
nice.
film that should be a found footage film, which I don't know how they do this, would be In a Violent Nature. Just attach the camera to Johnny's back. And follow him
Honestly,
about.
yeah.
Kind of like Laid to Rest.
Yeah. I haven't seen Lead the Rest, but I'll take your word for it.
Like, yes.
Anybody ready?
Laid to Rest wasn't necessarily like found footage, but Chrome Skull, the he had a webcam attached to his shoulder, so you do
Nice.
get POV perspectives, and like those scenes fucking rip because it feels so personal that you feel him doing what he's doing. I would have to say, and I'm going to bring it up again, but if the Poughkeepsie tapes was shot as a regular film, where they're like analyzing like from a crime story perspective, like a Seven or something like that, I think that would transfer to be an absolutely like frightening psychological thriller. And then what I think would be a really good found footage, I think Zodiac would make a really good found footage. Like if they found like
Ooh.
the what the Zodiac has been doing. I also think that Son of Sam, Spike Lee's Son of
Uh-huh.
Sam, if Berkowitz was done as a found footage, like but the way that they have the perspective of like everybody in New York and the crowd of like all that was filmed like through like Super 8s and cameras, like I think it would have gave it like a way more gritty, realistic feeling. So that's just off the top of my head. So what do you think, Gigi?
Okay, I'm gonna go with, because I can't think of a single thing, is Cloverfield. I think that would be a fun non-found footage movie. I think you could do a lot with that, especially with like the little creature. Um, and also I think it does cross over into the line of being way too shaky, like way too shaky. Because there are a lot of found footage that I'm like, this one is just excessive. Um, and then a non-found footage movie turned found footage. Oh, I had it in my head. Um,
Dead
I
Air.
had it. Oh no. No, edit this out.
Nope, this is all staying in.
Oh my god, what was I gonna say? I don't know. It'll
First time ever, Gigi's been speechless.
no,
It's okay.
literally. I had it in my head what I would like to be found footage. Nope, can't think of it. Seth, you go and it'll come to me.
Perfect. So a movie that I think that is found footage that would be better in like normal is Hell House. I think just having like a haunted house type situation, and like I think that could be really terrifying, and especially like remaking the original today as a non found footage, which I think I read or heard the other day that they are doing one of the new Hell House movies as non found footage.
Yeah, Legion.
Yeah.
Boo.
Mhm.
That's
So
cool though.
and then one movie that I want to see turned into found footage, I think Silence of the Lambs would be really cool.
Ooh,
From whose
okay.
point of view? From like
From
Hannibal filming it?
from
Oh,
Bill's
okay.
point of view.
Ooh.
And then like you have like all these like his interactions with like Clarice and like all the other things, and it's just all
Or
found
have
footage.
like Hannibal Lecter like going over the tapes that they found from Bill. That would be
Yeah,
fucking cool.
exactly. I think they can make that look really cool.
He would just be sitting in his cell looking at, do you want to fuck me? I'd fuck me. Just film from like a little camera. That'd be fucking great.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
It would. I like that
I'm really
idea.
I'm so sad. I thought I had a really good one and it just freaking went away.
Jaws.
That's okay.
It's with the wind. It'll come to me, and
It'll come to me
but
someday.
not right now. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay, whatever. We're past it.
Oh,
okay. Oh,
what if they made a found footage Godzilla film or
Oh,
Jurassic
that would
Park?
actually be really cool.
That would be cool.
Oh my god, that would be really fun.
yeah,
Found footage
there is
Jurassic Park would rip.
there's
Yeah,
like an
totally.
analog Jurassic Park that's kind of found footage. It's only
I've seen
like
that.
a minute long or something, but that was really cool. So
It's
yeah,
terrifying.
Ooh.
like just maybe the camera, CCTV cameras of everything happening.
Yeah, that'd be so scary. Just like
And dash cams in the front of the cars. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's oh yeah, that would be so cool.
I want to see
Yeah.
T-Rexes chase people. That's sick.
Nice. So that's Seth with 2 and Gigi with none. Perfect.
No, I
Yeah.
am literally going to like stay up at night being like, I had the perfect film turn found footage and I'll never remember it. No,
Guess
no,
I'm not
no,
the tired one today.
it'll never
Yeah.
get made.
No.
Jeez.
Okay. So this might trigger your memory, Gigi. So what's everybody's favorite found footage? And if it's different, an underrated found footage film you reckon people should check out? I'll start with Seth.
Can I pick 2 favorite found footage films?
Seems like you gave 2 good answers last time. We'll allow it.
Yes. Wreck and As Above, So Below. I fucking love both of those
yeah.
movies so much.
Fair.
And one that I would recommend that's like underrated, I would say either Paranormal Activity, the Mark ones, or Troll Hunter. I love both of those.
Troll Hunter fucking rips.
Yeah.
I totally picked up Troll Hunter just so I could
Yes.
have that as my pick. Look at that.
I remembered.
Is it Troll Hunter?
remembered. No, it's not. Autopsy of Jane Doe. That's what I want to be found footage.
That would
I
be
love
cool.
that.
There
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that
go.
would
I
be-
remembered.
Yeah,
That'd
that'd
be
be
sick.
fantastic.
I like
No, yeah, it's a good one.
I think it was spooky.
I forgot about
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, Seth. So you were Troll Hunters. You're underrated, or Seth?
Yeah, Troll
Sorry,
Hunter
Gigi
and
was so
Paranormal
excited, I
Activity, the
forgot.
Mark ones.
Can I just double check? Is marked ones not next to kin?
No, Next of Kin was
No.
the newest one. I think
Yeah, it
Mark
was the
ones was the
crappy one.
Which
4th
is
one.
not good.
I think the
I thought
Mark
the
ones
newest
is
one
the
was the better
5th
one.
No.
The Mark
Wait.
one's is the Spanish one, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
marked
where he
ones
gets,
is,
like,
is like with the
superpowers.
Mexican family.
Yeah.
Where he has
It's
the shirt
sick.
that says "Powered by Frijoles."
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
I love that
That's
one.
one of my favorite ones.
Yep, same.
I've got a full box set down here, so I'll watch them all tonight just to double check what I think they are.
Yeah, Next of Kin was the latest one, and that one sucked.
I skipped it.
But
Mm,
you
I was
liked
like,
Under
no.
Paris, so we'll take your piece with a
Yeah.
grain of salt. Anyway, Gigi, you got an answer?
Okay, yes. Wait, what was the question?
What's your favorite and one that's underrated?
I don't know
Found
what's wrong with
footage.
me today. Okay, so one of my favorites is I have like 100, but let's see. I love As Above, So Below. Fantastic. I also love Goncham Haunted Asylum, and I'm gonna say that that one's also an underrated one.
Yeah, I think it's getting the love it deserves now because a lot of
Yeah.
people would watch Grave Encounters just because it's the same, but obviously this is in English, so I can understand it better. Which
Yeah,
just fucking read, Jesus.
just read
I
people.
know,
Yeah.
it's just words. Yeah, I agree. That's phenomenal. Chuck.
Where do we begin?
Oof.
Um,
Take your time.
So this is like favorite and most underrated.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like feel free to make
I
a
think
list
my
of people.
favorite and most underrated is the same movie because I think Real.
Can I
is,
guess? Damn it.
Ah,
I knew it was gonna be real.
I think Real is arguably one of the greatest found footage movies ever made.
I need to watch this.
It's
Mhm.
I mean what he did with that movie, and it's a movie called Reel, REEL, and you can find it at realstore.net. It is free to watch if you're looking for it after my brief synopsis. But what
an
it
advert.
is, what's that?
This is not a paid advert. Just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
no,
sponsored.
no. It's not paid. It's not paid at all. It's just I find it brilliant because the perspective that the film is shot is from 2 different perspectives. It's about 2 people making a film. One doesn't realize that they become involved in the other person's film. So it's about this guy, Todd Smith, who wants to make like the most disturbing movie ever made for his YouTube channel. And then Slasher Victim 666 finds this guy. So he becomes like his biggest fan, to the point that he, lures him online, sends him a camera, equipment, but is like filming him. So you get the found footage from like 2 different perspectives. And I just think it's so well done. And I mean, and obviously the brutality of the last 20 minutes is not for the faint of heart. It's just, I just thought it was a very fresh new take on the found footage idea.
for you,
there's
Campbell,
so-
I love Real as well. Only, like it's because it took me ages to watch it. Because you guys were all talking about it, so I was expecting some brutal bloodfest through the whole thing. But it's very nuanced for a found footage film, and I was like, this is actually really
No, it
good.
is. It everything is so intentional and methodical, and like you get that build up and like why they're doing what they're doing, and I mean, like in the world building is so next level because Todd Smith is a real person. He has a real YouTube channel that you can go watch right now. So like the way
that's
that
funny.
he tapped in,
That's cool.
yeah, the way that he tapped in and incorporated like real life into the movie is unbelievable. And like if you go to his website, like he put out these handmade like cartoon books of the 50 things that inspired him to become this filmmaker, and he ties in like Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii and how that inspired him to make the movie real and how it like psychologically messed him up when he listened to it. So like that dude's going to make something that's going to blow people away, and he's going to get out there because he got ideas. And other ones that I always talk about that like for underrated that people don't see is like the houses that October built. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but I think that movie absolutely rips. I was going to say Troll Hunter too, because I think it's absolutely, it's a fucking brilliant movie. It's so good. Gonjiam Haunted Asylum's another one of my all-time favorites. You guys said Wreck, because Wreck fucking rips. So yeah, but like, yeah, this is my opportunity to talk about Real, which I could do 53 episodes on it.
Can we just do a top 5 real quick?
I know. I was like, wait,
footage?
now I'm remembering. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go through and then wait, Brian, did you say you're
I've been-
underrated?
No, he
just
didn't.
Hijack away. On you go.
No, give us your
My
favorite
episode.
underrated.
Okay, well,
and then-
every knows my favorite's mentioned in every episode. So Wreck is my favorite.
Jaws isn't your
Underrated-
favorite found footage film?
GG, please, we're trying to be professional here. So
Sorry.
underrated is again Koji Shiriashi, and it's Occult. You can watch it on YouTube, so everybody has no excuse. It's about a guy that it's a group of people at like a tourist place in Japan, and somebody comes and stabs them, and people are like, "What happened?"
Oh.
Yeah, and then like one of the survivors, he starts acting strange and start following him around, and it's super cosmic, and there's loads of stuff in the sky that you see, and it's just like it's fucking brilliant. Apart from the CGI, it's probably like the found footage film that everybody should watch but won't watch, which is really frustrating.
Wait, what's it called?
Occult or Occult. I don't know how you pronounce it properly, but
A Cult from 2009.
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Let me check it out.
Interview
well, Gigi's
survivors.
looking at that.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah, watch it. It's better than
Watch
The Ride the
list.
Curse, which is the more famous one.
Really?
For me, I think it's more.
Oh man, I haven't
more
seen it.
cohesive, more cohesive story. Norai's great, but it's like it maybe drags a little bit. Noroi.
That's
It does.
It does. I thought it was just okay.
Yeah, you're wrong. So
Again.
what are we doing, GG? Because you're hijacking the pod now. What's happening?
Oh
Top
yeah,
5.
we're gonna do our top 5. Our top
That's so
5
hard.
favorite horror films. Or sorry, Jesus, I have no brain today. Our top 5 favorite found footage. Seth, go.
Got Wreck. We got Troll Hunter, As Above, So Below. Wreck, Troll Hunter, As Above, So Below. Host. Absolutely love Host. I think that movie is
Ooh.
just so fucking terrifying.
I love Host.
And honestly, Cloverfield I would put probably at 5 because it's what got me into the genre. Like it's the first found footage film I ever saw. There is another one that I would throw in this list if like it wasn't just horror, but End of Watch I think is one of the best found footage films ever made.
Oh my god, stop.
And it is fucking brutal.
Dude,
I think End of Watch is a brilliant film.
Yeah.
I
I love that movie.
will never forget the first time I watched End of Watch. I sobbed myself to
Yeah.
sleep. Truly like heaving, crying.
It is a beautiful film, but it is.
It's
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, Chuck, what about
Do you
you?
want to volunteer?
Top 5 all time.
Yeah. Or just off the top of your head. I feel like when you say a top 5 and then you're like, shit, I forgot this, this, and this.
If I had to, I mean, it's probably going to be top of the head. I mean, just I could do a top 5 honorable mentions because I have so many. I don't know if I could put it into a list, but Blair Witch is 100% on that list. Blair Witch, The Tunnel. I love The Tunnel. I love Creep. I think Creep is brilliant. Reels, obviously, in my top 5 all time. Gonjiam. The Den. Shit, there's so many. There's just in top 5 so hard. This is the hardest genre for me to do a top 5 because there's so many that are so like similar, like similar and close for me. So I would, Blair Witch, The Bay's another one that could be in there because The Bay rips. So Blair Witch. So here I'm going to cement it right now. Blair Witch, Real, Gongium, Wreck. Would it be as above, so below?
Yeah,
Would
it
it
would.
be
The
as
movie
above,
slaps.
it really, really does. It's really,
So
really
good.
good. It is a fucking good ass flick.
Chuck's putting in subliminal messages. He's like, it's
know.
really, really good.
Really good. Real 2 rips too, but it's $4.99 on realstore.net. I like Nori too. I don't know. I said enough of them. I love them all. Like for the
Yeah.
most part. Like if you give me a 3.9 on IMDb and it says found footage, fucking lock me in.
I'm like, that's a 10 out of 10 right there.
Yeah, let's go. So that's a whole different scale rating. That's like a 6.6 on a regular movie.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go because Brian's gonna have the most obscure one, so I'm gonna keep him for last. Okay, I'm just gonna do whatever's gonna come to my brain that I love. I don't even know if this is my top. I just love these. Gonjaham Haunted Asylum, Wreck, Paranormal Activity, The Taking of Deborah Logan,
Ooh, baby heads.
and I do love Creep, but everyone's gonna mention that. So I'm gonna steal one that I know that Brian's gonna bring up. So I'm gonna do the Blackwell Ghost.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah.
Love the
I'd
Blackwell Ghost.
actually forgotten Blackwell Ghost.
Be My
I'm a
Cat
big fan.
is another one.
Oh, with the
didn't like-
Bay. Damn it.
Be
Yeah.
My Cat's good, but that's really good because of Adrian. I don't think it's a great film. I think he's just brilliant as a creepy dude.
I'll buy
That's
that.
my personal take.
That's-
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know if I can choose a top 5. This is like trying to choose what's your favorite kid. It's too difficult.
I was like, me, if we were your children.
I'm not that old. Wreck is definitely number 1. Like, I'm trying to think of weird
Oh, yeah.
obscure ones, just because you guys have mentioned all the stuff that probably is in my top 5, but I'm trying to think of stuff that other people don't
Exists.
mention.
It's-
Like Exist is fine, but I don't think it's
It exists.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I like it.
Blair
I
Witch
love
is,
it.
Blair Witch
Yeah.
is the director's better movie for me.
It is.
I think I've got a bunch of Blu-rays and DVDs I'm looking at. I think Wreck 2 doesn't get the love it deserves. It's as good as Wreck, I would say. I think
Why am I
Paranormal
frozen?
Activity 2 is better than Paranormal Activity 1. Chuck, vanish
Yeah.
or did I do something? The Medium's really good. But I think people forget that's found footage.
I still need to watch it.
Medium's
Like the
great.
only thing that I didn't love about the Medium is the ending goes a bit big. I always wanted to be a bit more stripped back, but it goes a bit overboard. And I was like, nah, you were so close to being my favorite movie ever.
Mhm.
Similar with Incantation. I was like, this is almost perfect, but it just doesn't quite nail
Yeah.
the landing. Yeah, I could go on all day. So maybe I will just put up a post on Instagram of what I think our top 5s is, and we can vote on it, and everyone else can give us theirs because
I do have
too
to
many.
jump on Seth a little bit here too, like on his piggyback on what he said, because the scariest movie that I've seen in quite a long time, like Host, scared the shit out of me. Like it
Oh,
just
yeah.
it worked for me. It got me, like, because I went into it and I was like, yeah, I read the synopsis. People are hyping this up. I'm like, this is bullshit. And I literally, like, it literally scared me. And I'll absolutely hate myself if I didn't put The Outwaters on my list, which is the most divisive film that people hate. But I promise you, in 20 years, people are going to talk about what a cinematic masterpiece it is, and that because it's a visionary experience. And I can't wait for what they're doing to it now, because he redid
You're
it.
not alone. Like it's got a cult following. Outwaters.
Oh, yeah.
And the director seems like the nicest dude. He's so supportive of
Oh, he is.
like Frogman and everything. He's like, I'll help boost your movie, and it's just like, okay. I feel bad like saying anything about his movie because he's so nice. So it didn't work for
Yeah.
me. I like that he went for something totally different, but I just didn't hit for me.
Right. I
personally.
think that's why he's doing what he's doing now, because they're releasing the same exact film, but he's doing it from a different found footage perspective of two detectives that find the aftermath of all those tapes. so you get their dialogue in explaining how they're trying to solve those events, so it'll give it more clarity. And I think that's going to resonate with a lot more people. But I'm
Totally.
excited that he's even doing that. So yeah, I just think it's really
I
fucking cool.
I really want to rewatch it because somebody just was it Taylor? I think Taylor just rewatched it and was like, I hated it the first time I watched it, and now I really like it. And I'm like, maybe I'll like it the second time I watch it. I love like the whole like vibe and aesthetic of them like being out there, and it just wasn't for me, but I get why people like it.
It's very
Yeah,
close to
no,
being one of your hot and sweaty horror movies. Just it didn't quite nail that vibe. I think
Exactly.
it'd probably be a good non-found footage film that was really sunlight, desert all the time, and folks
Yes.
start driven. I think that would be perfect. But
I
because it's so
almost
difficult to
said
see
that.
anything.
I
Right.
almost said Outwaters because I think that actually killed some of it for me.
See, but him paying attention to things like the Blair Witch, like her, and this is what did it for me personally, but like her being in the tent and you seeing and hearing the things like outside of the tent, like he put you in the shoes of those people. So like when you're peeking out, like you wouldn't see the whole frame. So he like tried to make you feel like all that they could see in the middle of the
Yeah.
terror. And I like that's what I was like, this is so I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, I don't know, I just dig it because it's a fucking and time loops and found footage. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Just because you've reminded me, I'm going to throw in horror in the high desert as well, just because I love those movies, and the newest one just came out. So
We like every found footage movie. If you haven't known this yet,
No.
Pretty much.
I
Pretty
definitely
much.
do not like every found
are we
footage
gonna
movie.
talk about the ones that we hate?
Oh, that's a whole nother episode, I think.
Dash
Oh,
cam.
God.
Fuck that lady.
Yeah, I know. Dash cam, the deep house.
Fuck
I actually
that
like
movie too.
Dashcam. I just hate the lead. Like Dashcam has some really good scares because the same director as host, so he clearly knows how to scare people. But like
Yeah.
she just ruins the whole movie. Because
She's
one of my
terrible.
favorite scary scenes is in Dashcam.
Yeah,
Where like
yeah.
somebody's chasing them along the street and you just see it in the back of the brake lights.
Listen,
And you see someone.
and how does the deep house get made after Inside? Then they make the deep house, and now they have the Soul Eater, which is fucking brilliant. Like it make sense to me.
No, I don't get it. I don't.
I-
Soul Eater was
Seth?
great. Seth.
Yeah, I have to add one more film because I keep forgetting to like put it on my list. But Spree, I think Spree is such a fucking awesome found
Oh, with
footage
Joe
movie.
Keery?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Spree.
I
Yeah.
love
I like Joe
Spree.
Keery.
Yeah, he's great.
I love any type of like online, like live thing because my favorite thing are the comments. Like reading the people's comments. I'm like,
Chad
dude,
gets the axe.
so
Deadstream.
good. Yes, like Deadstream. I haven't seen Chad Gets the Axe, but that's what
Oh,
somebody
Gigi.
just said that. Somebody was like, the
Gigi, if
best
you
part
like
of the movie are the comments.
if you like reading the comments, like when the intent, like Chad Gets the
Yes.
Axe is far from a great movie, but the comments are always on the screen. And like when it gets to the intense shit, like the comments section is to die for. Like it's
Dude,
fucking hilarious.
it's the best part of those kinds of movies. I think they're so
Yeah,
fun.
like they're like all encouraging each other to like because they know his cell phone number to like call him when the killer's looking for him, so his phone vibrates and shit like that. Like it's so funny. Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
That's so funny.
Okay, so if you were going to film a found footage movie, where would you set that found footage movie? Seth?
I'm putting it in the foggy forest because I
Okay.
love those vibes, and there's just so much more you can play with. Like you can play on the fear of the darkness, you can play on like branches breaking. Like there's just so many different things you can do with that, and opportunities are endless.
Okay. I think something that they don't do in found footage that they should do in the forest is, you know, in the ritual where you're staring and the monster just moves a little bit. You're like,
Mhm.
holy shit. They don't do that in found footage nearly
No.
enough. Where you just hear something in like way off in the distance and something moves. Like, shit, is that
Yes.
something? But that's when I make a found footage film, there'll be plenty of that. So
Oh, you're just
Please.
giving away your ideas.
I know,
Yeah.
but someone else will probably get there
Gee.
quicker. So they'll take all my ideas. Gigi?
As much as I love found footage that happens like in a house and stuff, because it just feels creepy because you're like, oh, what if this was my house? I would love to do something weird. So maybe I would do like a grocery store.
Okay.
Oh,
That's my
interesting.
answer. A grocery store. Do we have a grocery store found footage? I don't think so. That's mine.
Mm-mm.
That's nice. So it'll be like The Mist, but found footage.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Because this is
Nice.
my new trope is that every podcast episode I have to mention The Mist.
Just remake The Mist
Mist.
somehow.
Yeah.
Chuck?
I think it would. I'm always going to hold my breath for the rest of my life that they make some kind of deep underwater found footage movie that's actually fucking good. I think there's a good concept there, maybe like on a submarine or something like that. But I also think like a slasher or kidnapper movie, found footage movie, like shot at Disneyland or a carnival or something, would also be cool.
Ooh.
I think that would be a good perspective, and I also would be a
That's
big
so
fan of
good.
like New York City, like in a very, very busy city, make it very frenetic, of just like everybody's recording this incident from their phones and then they put it all together to like try to catch a killer or something. Like I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
That is such a good idea. That's like a non-found footage, like something like Haunt or like Hellfest. Like those would be
Mhm.
great found footage films.
I agree.
Totally. That's a good idea, Chuck. Let's make
Yeah.
all these movies, guys.
Can I change my
I
answer?
totally agree with your underwater one. Like it's because
Yeah.
obviously like water is my thing with the sharks as well. So the fact that I can combine a shark movie with a found footage, that is two, and they're both terrible, but I would love to combine them together because
Agreed.
it's such an obvious gap there. You don't even have to have good
Yeah.
CGI, but it's found footage. Like just folk with
Yeah.
GoPros around their chest, boom. Found
Dude,
footage movie
literally
done.
just put the camera pointing at the bottom of the ocean and you're just like, what the fuck's below me? It's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like that scene from 47 meters down when she lights that flare and the shark appears, like that body cam
Yes.
with the light. There's so many terrifying things in the ocean that could it's just such a good idea.
I like that. You were gonna change your answer, Seth.
Yeah, it was the underwater thing too, but I
Oh.
think that'd be cool.
So mine is similar, but I was kind of half reading the book where it's a documentary crew are making a fake documentary on mermaids existing. Remember Discovery did that back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So, but when they're out there, it turns out mermaids do exist, and they are flesh-eating monsters that come out and kill everybody on the boat. And I'm like, that's
Oh my
where I want.
God.
I want a boat on the water with mermaids killing people.
That
But we can probably incorporate Chuck's underwater movie into that if he's cool with
That-
mermaids. But
That would be cool. Or if
we
they
don't
made
get
a
enough
cool, go ahead,
evil. No, I was gonna say we don't get enough evil mermaids because they could be creepy.
Mhm.
lore.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I've not seen Lure. Like I started watching that and I was like, what is this? Why are they all naked
Yeah,
and looking
it's
incredibly
wild.
young? I don't know if I want to watch this.
If they made a
Oh, ew! I
courtroom,
hate that.
if they made a courtroom drama found footage with a shark on trial, that would be a cool one too.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
Thanks for the throwback, Chuck.
You're welcome. You always say I forget about you.
I know. It's beautiful.
Not today. Not
People
today,
are
Seth.
listening to this for the first time. They're like, what the
That's
fuck are they
actually
talking
4
about?
compliments today.
Dun. Enter witness number 1. He bit my
More
arm
Irish
off.
gibberish, please.
Yeah. Irish gibberish.
Okay, last question. What's the best or the best found footage films you've seen this year? And is there any you're looking forward to that are still to come out? Chuck, you've always got some rando.
I think the most inventive found footage that we've seen this year was Mind Body Spirit. I loved it.
Oh,
Um it's stuck with me since I've seen it. Like I just thought it was just a cool concept and I thought it was well done and I really enjoyed it. And Invoking Yell is what I'm looking forward to the most. It's about some 20-something women who venture into the woods to shoot a demo tape for their black metal band, and the trailers that they've released for it just speak to me, and it looks like it absolutely rips. And every single person I've talked to that has seen it confirmed the fact that it absolutely rips, and it just got picked up. I think IFC picked it up.
really?
It was either IFC or it's one of the bigger companies picked it up because I got an email about it. Oh yeah, because
No, it's Welcome Villain.
yeah,
Villain.
welcome. That's who picked it up. Welcome
Wow.
Villain picked it up. Yeah, which is great for them. But apparently, like all the test screenings and everything, like it is apparently going to rip. So Brian put me onto it. That's how I found out about it, and then I've been borderline harassment to get it. But finally, it's starting to pop up. Yeah, I really, because I love like black metal and that whole like story of the like those bands and the churches and all that shit, and tying that into like this found footage thing. I think it looks really good.
And it's Chilean as well. Is that right?
I believe so. Yes.
I think so.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Can I go
Gigi?
next?
Oh,
Damn it.
Oh no, Seth goes
Gigi,
next.
Gigi, take it back.
No, before I
There you go,
forget,
Seth.
sorry, Gigi. The one I'm most anticipated for, I'm gonna start with that one, is the new VHS because Kate Siegel's directing her first
Oh yes.
horror,
That's great.
and Mike
Yeah.
Flanagan's writing it, and I think that'll be really
Yeah.
cool.
I hope
Role
they flip it
reversal.
around. I hope they flip it around, yeah, and like Mike Flanagan's the star of it. It's like actually
I
acting.
know, right?
He's like, oh, that's nice. Switched up.
We love
so-
you,
and
Mike
then
Flanagan.
we do. We big fans. And Mind, Body, Spirit is my favorite of the year so far for that too.
Nice. Gigi?
Yeah, probably Mind, Body, Spirit. I mean, I also really liked Frogman. I love it for the end of the movie. Like I think it suffered a little bit from like dragging, in the beginning, but loved how crazy and chaotic the ending was. But Mind, Body, Spirit was a good one. And then one I'm looking forward to, which is Hybrid, is Shelby Oaks. Just because I think it'll be kind of fun, but it just premiered at Fantasia Film Festival, so reviews are coming in, and I'm scared.
Same.
Scared. That's what found footage is supposed to do. Scare you.
Yeah, like found footage. It depends what the audience is like, because it might be a brilliant film, but they're not a
Totally.
audience. So we've seen it before with found footage films that come out. So I will be optimistic. Pessimistic? Optimistic, yeah.
Are you pessimistic?
So glasses half some.
Seth, this is a great opportunity to plug your Frogman screening in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Yes. August 9th, if you live in Arizona or you want to fly out to Arizona, I'm hosting a screening of Frogman with the director and writer Anthony Cousins and one of the actresses as well. We're going to do a Q&A. It's going to be a whole thing. There's going to be some giveaways of exclusive merch that Anthony's making for the film, which I'm really excited for. And yeah, just send us an email, shoot the comment, hit the comments.
That's gonna be so fun. I wish I could fly out. I wish I didn't have
I
a
wish
job.
you could too. Just come out
Which
there. Don't find it now.
Is it
I
Chelsea
know.
that's
Yeah,
coming?
Chelsea. Chelsea
So
Grant
just
is.
to keep it in this kind of family then. So Chelsea's got a movie she's written and is starring in, and Anthony Cousins is producing. It's called Old
Oh.
Wounds. It's found footage. It's coming out. It's shown at Popcorn Frights. Whenever that is next month. I was speaking to the director, and so I've seen a picture from it, and that looks like it could be very interesting. So that's one to look out for. And my favorite from the year is Horror in the High Desert 3. It's just slightly above Mind, Body, Spirit. Films to look out for that I saw at Unnamed Footage Festival would be Looky Loo, which is like a serial killer POV, but the only thing that maybe
Ooh.
it's like a kind of creepy guy, sort of like Beautiful Friend, but it doesn't go violent enough. I mean, it doesn't have the essay side of things.
Yeah.
But like he kills like mostly women, so
What a
down
dick.
on that super violent side of things to make people want to watch it. And there's a film called Bunny Games, which
Yeah.
is a Mondo film, which I'd never heard of before until recently. But it's directed by, I forget her name, some woman, and it's like all these underage women that were like sexually promiscuous, and they're talking about this thing, and it gets really weird. And that does have a lot of essay in it. But it's like, well, it's
Oh
directed
God.
by
What are
a
you
woman.
watching,
Like,
Brian? Jeez.
it was part of the festival. I didn't, but like it's one of those like important movies. I think
Yeah.
that people should
Okay.
watch.
Yeah.
But the poster for it looks like a porno poster. I don't know if you opened it up.
Incredible. What's it called?
Bunny Games.
Bunny Games. It's not popping up on
I'm all in.
Letterboxd.
Is it
I
the
think-
House
I think
Bunny
it's Bunny Games,
spinoff?
am I? No,
No, it
There's
might.
ano-
It might.
fun. It's Bunny
There's
something.
another
Maybe I've
one
got it wrong.
coming. There's another one coming that I don't know why I forgot about it, because they're having a hard time with a distribution and a release date. But Paranoid Android Films picked it up, and it's called Custom. And
Oh, yeah.
it's about this couple that shoot like these like erotic films, and it turns into this big like crime investigation type kind of thing. And it's going to be a hard watch for a lot of people, but it absolutely rips, and it's fantastically well done. Like it literally, it could end in my top 10 at the end of the year, but this year,
Oh.
like a top 10 this year is not, because Beautiful Friend could end up there for me too. Truman Cooley, shout out to him, because Beautiful Friend I find brilliant.
Chuck,
You're gonna have about 100 movies in your top 10 by the end
I
of the
know.
year. I think.
I know.
It's almost impossible. Me and Justin were talking last night. Shout out Slasher Talk. The top 10 this year is the hardest year in a long time. Like we've eaten this year. There's been so
We
much
have.
good shit this year.
Yeah.
Nosferatu and Alien. Chuck, real quick, is that movie the cannibal mukbang? Is that found footage or no?
No.
Cannibal Mukbang is not found footage.
Okay, I know you're
And I
talking
can't
about
wait for
one,
that
though.
to get released because I love that as well.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Cool. We will call it there then, because Seth looks like he is about to pass out. Do you want to take us out, Seth, or do you want me to?
I can take us out here.
Let's go. Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom, as always, thank you for listening and following us. We appreciate all of you. And as always, stay haunting, people. Go watch some
Bye.
found footage.
Yay. Bye.